Hey girls, hey. Hey boys, hey. Welcome back to my channel. It's Mama Beauties here. Welcome from North Carolina, coming at you live, ready to read some discovery. Now remember that if we have any kind of discussion here that we do not hate, we participate, we articulate, and we agree to disagree. And this is a community that you are safe to share your opinions, your theories, and they will be welcomed here. They do not have to align with mine. And this is adult content. It is very sensitive subject. So I want to make sure that you know there is a trigger warning and lots of sensitive issues being read here in this discovery. So I just want to give a huge trigger warning in case we go over any of the autopsy, and there is just sensitive subject here. So please be an adult in the comments section and just know that I don't give chances here. I block. Sometimes I block on accident. I don't even know that you're not really meaning anything by it, but my first instinct is to not trust. And so if you send me an email and talk to me about it, then of course I will unblock you. But if it's just something that happens, you just get caught in the mayhem, I apologize. But that's just going to be something that happens. And again, my moderators, whenever they are here, when I see them, I will remind them of what our code word is whenever there's a troll in the chat box, that we don't even want to read their comment or feed into them. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Ivy. We don't want to feed into them in any way, shape, or form. We don't even want to read their comment out loud or acknowledge them. We just want to immediately block them. So if you guys see a troll, I need you to type in the chat box, "I trolled you so." And if you type "I trolled you so," then I will be able to scroll back up and block that person and get it taken care of right away. So we had like almost 200 people on our last chat, you guys, but I had to go because a lot of people were asking about the special on the oxygen, and that live was getting really long. So I just decided to go ahead and end it so people can see what happened or what they missed on that episode on the Oxygen channel on Criminal Confessions. And I wanted them to be able to know that it is worth the watch. So I did not give detail for detail of what happened because I do want you guys to be able to watch it, but I did give you any new information that might have been given to us during that episode. Excuse me. And my nose is not stopped up anymore. I can breathe. So it was a good thing that I got off. Went and got some coffee. My son is asleep and my granddaughter is sleeping like an angel, like she is. And it is mama time. Even though it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's still mama time. So we are going to start jumping right into this discovery, and I will try to go an hour or so, and then I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, but I do have my granddaughter all day tomorrow and have to figure out how we're getting to the store and all of that because I can't get my car till Monday because this girl slept in today, and my mail guy for some reason left me a slip in the box, like this generic slip, okay? United States Postal Service. Look how generic it is. And it says, "For your convenience, your package has been placed at the post office." How in the world is that convenient for me? The post office is closed until Monday. This was Saturday, and I got this in the mail at like 2, and the post office closes at noon here. And so they leave me this slip. Why didn't you bring it and put it on my packet on my front door? That's what you did yesterday. You don't even knock. You just drop the Amazon package and roll. So was it because you didn't want to drive down to the house and put it on the porch? Were you in that big of a hurry? Did everybody get a slip like this? So I know that the postal workers are overworked and I don't want to give them too much of a hard time. I'll be okay. But I just thought it was funny. They do work really, really hard. I just thought it was funny. It said for my convenience. It's locked. What if it was for a birthday party for on Saturday or Sunday? What if I needed it today? Then it wouldn't be very convenient, would it, Mr. United States Postal Service? So it's all good. I'm not worried. I don't even know what it is. Like, they don't even tell you what it is. It could be my ancestry.com kit that I ordered. It could be some Cyber Monday stuff that I got on super good deal, or it could be even some Black Friday stuff for all I know. I have no idea. I ordered the ancestry kit on Black Friday because it was half off, and I still haven't gotten it. So who knows? I was trying to stream the Chris Watts episode on 123 live stream, and it kept messing up, so I had to try both times it came on, girl. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It just said my nose is not stopped up, but now it's running. That's just great. Living the dream here in North Kakalaka. Oh, and because I haven't had a car to go to the grocery store all the time, I ran out of sugar and I had to use in my coffee, you guys, I had to use Hershey syrup instead of sugar. It's got cream in there. I had cream, but I didn't have any sugar. So we got Hershey syrup in the coffee tonight. And it's 1 a.m., so it might really get me rocking and rolling. Worse than I naturally am. All right, let's get started. We're on page 565 of the Chris Watts Discovery, you guys. 1,900 pages long. Let me get my thing for my nose just in case. Because I was an addict for 4 years, unfortunately, my nose can drip out of nowhere. Just like I could be talking and it will drip from like up in my brain somewhere automatically and not touch any part of my body and just drip out. I know that's disgusting, but I'm just trying to give you guys a warning. Do not do drugs and do not put them up your nose. Hopefully I can help one person not destroy their sinuses like I have. Okay. Hot cocoa. Yeah, that works. I should have did that. You're right, Elizabeth. Okay, much better. So on the 8th, and we know that Shanann was coming back from North Carolina on the 8th, August 8th, Cassie and Nicole and Shanann started this group text. I don't know who started it. Oh, no, Cassie did. Cassie started this group text on August 8th at 9:52 in the morning. And Cassie texts Shanann and Nicole Atkinson to ask if they would still be her friend if she lived in Boulder. Now, my ex-husband used to own a nightclub in Boulder. Boulder is very nice, you guys. It's very expensive to live there, too. They have this outdoor shopping mall there. It's right on the edge of the mountain. It's a very beautiful area. And I remember the rent on the place of the bar that they owned was sky high. It was astronomical amount every month, and the insurance and the liquor license, and they went through immortal HE double hockey sticks to get the liquor license for Boulder, because Boulder was like a very rich, stuck up, like snobby, I guess not stuck up, that's a bad word, a rich, very like fine, I believe it's Boulder that the John Benet Ramsey case was out of. So those people had money. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what kind of people are in Boulder. And so she said, that's why I guess she's kind of saying, will you still be my friend? Because the people in Boulder are supposed to be like better than everybody, so to speak. After 6 texts about that, Shanann asked Nicole to tell her the sex of her baby, saying she needs happy news. Now, Shanann gave the envelope of the sex of her baby to Nicole Atkinson, and her and Chris did not find out the sex because they were going to have a gender reveal party. But since Shanann and Chris were having such problems, Shanann didn't want the world to see how Chris was acting, so she actually canceled the gender reveal. And so now this is a group text of her saying she wants to know the baby's gender now. She needs some good, happy news. They arranged for Nicole to tell Shanann in person, and Cassie wants to FaceTime it with them. So, yes, it is the John Bonet town. Okay, good. Shanann tells Nicole to come early and that she is up at 6. Nicole asks what time Chris leaves. Shanann replies, dude, I need sex. And 6. And come whenever I'm in the AM, just not 11. And Nicole asked, what is at 11? And Shanann replied, too long, and a laughing emoji. They agreed around 7:30 or 8, and Shanann texts to ask or tell someone to tell Taylor about canceling the reveal. Nicole said she texts Taylor. Shanann tells them not to slip on Facebook, and she does not want anyone to know right now because Chris will then know, and she wants him to want to know. Cassie replied, F him. Yep, I said it. Shanann replied, I agree, Cass. And both Nicole and Cass agreed to not post on Facebook. Shanann replied, please, no, he doesn't deserve to know. He doesn't even want it, jackass. He's such an effing liar. He said, I think it would be great to have another. He wanted this. He started the convo. You don't get me pregnant and not love me. What's that going to do? Nicole encourages Shanann, stating that she is one of the strongest people she knows and knows she will get through this. Shanann replied, F him. I am nowhere near perfect, but I love unconditionally. I give my all. I do so much as a mom and wife, more than 90% of women out there. This effing sucks so bad because I do love him and his effing flaws. Cassie's encouraged Shanann, and Shanann replied, this was a total slap in the face, stab in the back to the heart. I can't afford 3 kids alone in Colorado. Cassie and Nicole encouraged Shanann, and Shanann told them she loved them. They started chatting about Cassie and Josh moving into the house with Shanann. Shanann says the house is in Chris's name. They discussed that the court would make them sell it before Chris just gets it. They encouraged Shanann further. Shanann replied that taking care of herself, so to speak, is an awesome stress reliever with a laughing emoji. I don't know, she says. Shanann said that when she asked him for a hug and to hold her tonight for a minute, he said he couldn't right now. Shanann said he's not there right now. So this is all when this group text is after he's been to North Carolina. They went to the beach. He wasn't touching her. He was calling Nicole Kessinger so many times on the phone. He ignored her. He's even admitted that he ignored her because Nicole was harassing him and saying, what are you probably with her? And so all of this is going down after that. She's on her way to back home to Colorado before her Arizona trip, and she's just unloading on her friends Cassie and Nicole Atkinson, who know the whole story the whole time. Shanann sent a screenshot of what appears to be her texting Chris today at 6:09 a.m. Do you want to find out together with me tonight on the baby's gender? Chris replied, yes, and Shanann loved his reply with a heart emoji. Shanann replied, please take 5 minutes today to write me and tell me how you are feeling. I love you, Chris, more than you know. And so this is the first day that they got back from North Carolina, and they're in Colorado, and she's telling her friends that she wants to know the gender of the baby. And now she's reaching out to Chris and telling him that they're going to do it that night when he gets home from work. Shanann texted that she offered it to him this morning and told Cassie and Nicole, I need us to work. If he's wanting to know with me, I'm willing to wait. Can you put it in another envelope? I'd love to still see you. So it sounds like here, from what I'm gathering, she had told her that she really wanted to know early in the morning. It better not be at 11 a.m. But then Tech must have texted her that next morning and said, no, I'm going to wait for Chris to get home from work. Don't come over and tell me. Put it in another envelope, because evidently Nicole Atkinson had already opened it up. And so she told her to put it in another envelope, that her and Chris were going to do the reveal together. Yes, what Chronicle Life said. Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys, to show Mama some love. If you're new here and you like what you see and here to join us, as we are a loving and welcoming group. Yes, awesome. That just makes me so happy. I'm sorry, I know she loved him, and I know my fiance too, but she is strong. She dealt with more than I would. She was pregnant, though, too. Yes, girl. Yes, he is a POS. Big time POS. So the next page is 566. And it says on Thursday, the next day on 8/9 at, it looks like this would be 5:30 Colorado time, Cassie texted her, interview went amazing, and asked what happened with Shanann. And Shanann replied that she was talking with Chris and would text her later. And then later on at, looks like it's 8:49, Cassie asked Shanann and Nicole how they are doing. Shanann replied that Chris wants to move to Brighton. Shanann texts Nico Lee Watts, we are not telling world till Monday. Tonight has been the best talk yet. So evidently that night they did their own little private gender reveal together. They decided on the baby's name, Nico Lee Watts. And this is the night. This is the day before she leaves. This is Thursday. So when Chris gets off work on Thursday, he comes home. They do their little private gender reveal. They name the baby. She texts Nicole Atkinson and Cassie what they decided to name the baby. And evidently Chris was receptive to her that night when they did the gender reveal together. They didn't have a public one. It was just private, just them two. And it says that texts are then about the Arizona trip. And hold on a minute. I think I heard something. Oh my God, it's my baby snoring. It's just Gage snoring. Hold on a second. Let me close this door. So then they just text back and forth about Arizona. And then at Monday at 12 a.m. Colorado time, it says 12:13. So this is Monday. So it would be Sunday night at 12:25 a.m. Shanann text landed with 3 sleeping emojis. So she texted that group text that night that she got home. She didn't get home until 1:48, because remember, I told you guys it's an hour-long drive from Denver to Frederick, Colorado, because I know I used to live there. I almost died there myself by the hands of my husband. And so she texted that group text that night. Before she got home at 1:48, we all saw her walk up into her home on that Ring cam or that Vivint cam, whatever kind of cam it was, I forgot. But we saw her walk up at 1:48. She texts that she landed at 12:25. So that shows that she landed at 12:25, but she did not get home until 1:48 in the morning. It's an hour-long drive, which means when Ronnie and Chris made that drive from the airport to where he took the polygraph, he had plenty of time to talk to him about his affair and all of that. And at the very least, Ronnie knew about the affair. He may have known already that he killed Shanann, but at the very least, he knew about the affair. Because I believe personally that Nicole Kessinger called the Watts on that Monday night. I know, it is crazy how much I have in common with her, especially selling the Thrive. If I still use my Facebook, I would send you guys over there, and you could see all the videos. I mean, I showed everything with Thrive. I showed making my samples. I showed my kids. I showed just my life. And that's what they tell you to do with Thrive. They tell you to get everybody on a 3-way call with your upline. That way the prospects have 2 people sharing their Thrive experience with them. They tell them not to say a whole lot, just say Thrive did this great, amazing thing for me, and I lost a little bit of weight while I was at it. I mean, they like really do train their promoters in exactly what to do and say. And if you follow the steps, you can make a lot of money selling Thrive, you guys. You can. And but it was just wasn't something that I was willing, a road I was willing to go down. I mean, because there were people that I was giving samples to whose doctors were telling them not to take it, that it was very bad for them to take because they had such and such medical issues. And so you never know what somebody, if somebody has heart problems and you're giving them the samples of these this energy. And so it's a fine line, and it made me nervous the whole time I was doing it. And then there was people that was taking it while they were pregnant because it was safe during pregnancy. And so all these things start worrying at you when you're selling it. And it did work for me. It gave me a lot of energy, but I also found out that it has theobromine in it, and theobromine also is found in Red Bull. So once I found that out, I was just like, I'll drink a Red Bull or a Mean Bean. Maybe Chris and Cindy plotted the killings, her fake tears, and maybe Cindy gave him the oxy. I mean, we don't know. Again, all parties are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That's a disclaimer in case somebody wants to come strike my video. But anyway, I think that somebody gave that oxy to Chris that he wants to protect. He either got it from NK, who got it from Jim, or he got that oxy from Cindy, Ronnie, or Jamie. Those are the only people that he is willing to protect. Only people. I think he confessed to Leah, you hit the nail on the head. She said, I think it's possible he confessed to stop the investigation to possibly protect NK. I wish they would have continued to investigate. Okay, so when I moved to Mexico, my ex-husband got caught with a growing operation, okay? And he was facing court, and he bonded out after getting caught with that growing operation, and they were getting ready to charge me, but luckily he had not done it in our home. He did it in a home on the same property of our home, but it was in the house over beside of us. And they were getting ready to charge me, you guys. They were going to charge me with this growing operation as well because I was his wife. And the only reason why they didn't do it is because he gave a taped confession at the police station while they were interrogating me. I had called his mother to come get our children because I figured they would take my kids away right on the spot. So I called his mother to come get our kids. She left with our kids. They arrested him, took him to the station, sent all these CBI and all these people to come get the grow operation, broke it all down, loaded it up in a van, and then had a man along with me in my home, a police officer, telling me, I know your fingerprints is on stuff over there. I know you knew about that, blah, 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 and just grilling me, okay? And then he gets a phone call and he goes, well, it looks like you're real lucky, Miss Castro. Your husband just gave a tape confession at the police department, and he says that you didn't know anything about it, so I can no longer question you. You have a nice day, and just left me there all by myself. And I'm just looking around in the house all by myself. My husband's in jail. All this has just happened. My kids are at my mother-in-law's house, and I'm like, I was so close to spending years in prison because he didn't have a medical card or anything. Luckily, it was in Colorado, and I probably only would have spent 2 or 3 years in prison and not decades. But yeah, you guys, because of him saying that it was all him, I didn't get in any trouble, even though it was in the same vicinity of our home that we resided in. Leave D alone. So that's a little break in that story. So let's get back to the Watts. But that wasn't in Frederick for me. He had moved me up during that. He had moved me way up in the mountain. I worked at the Red Lobster down in Littleton, Colorado, right there in that old shopping. It used to be a shopping mall. But I drove from Bailey, Colorado, which is way up past Evergreen in Colorado. I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Red Rock theater up there, or the amphitheater thing. It's way past that in Bailey, Colorado. And that's when all of that went down, and I would have went to jail for a long time. All right, so the last text that Shanann sent to anyone, as far as I know, as far as I believe, was landed with 3 sleeping emojis at 12:25 a.m. And that was in the group text with Nicole and Cassie. We're reading from Discovery, and I just gave a little story about myself and my ex-husband. He has too many different stories about the kid's death. Did he really kill them twice, like he told Cadel, or like what he told investigators? Leah, I think that he killed Cece and Bella, and he thought both of them were dead. I think Cece was dead, but Bella got back up while he was killing Shanann, because he just rendered her unconscious when he thought he killed her. When he smothered her the first time, she just went unconscious, and so when she woke back up and walked in when he was killing Shanann, or after he killed Shanann, he was shocked that she was still alive. And that's the shadow that we see underneath the truck. It's just the one girl. It's just Bella. And so he lies and says they both, woke back up, because he's so shocked that Bella woke back up. Why not just say both girls woke back up? But I do not believe that Cece was just quiet and chilling with her mom's feet, or her mom at her feet. And he may have put Shanann in the front seat. Who knows? He might have been too scared for the cops to see that, so he did put them in the back. But Bella was the quiet, mild-mannered one, and maybe something had happened neurologically to Bella from being rendered unconscious to the point that he thought she was dead, and her waking back up. Maybe when she woke back up, she wasn't talking, or we really just don't know, even though he did say that she said, "Daddy, no." And maybe she woke back up just fine, and he just passed her out and thought that he had killed her. But honestly, we will never know. That's why I love all of you guys' theories, because anything makes sense at this point. Anything is plausible at this point. Let's see. Yes, we did watch the Oxygen tonight a little bit, and we already did an hour and a half live on it. Woo, girl. Yeah, it was my video before this one. Look, Chronic Life already telling for me, talking for me. That's awesome. I love it, y'all. I love it, love it. I found out a couple of days ago that Chris Watts has my birthday. I'm so disgusted. It makes me cringe. I had it first, though. That loser is a year younger. Good for you, Natasha. Yeah, Bella was the only one that woke back up, Linda. But that's just our opinion, and, we're allowed to think that. So let's keep going. Texts between Cassie and Chris are next, and these are after Shanann, has been killed. And they're on Monday at 11:43, and it says it would be at 12:43 Colorado time. So because she's an hour earlier, because she's in Arizona, I believe that's where Cassie lives, is Arizona, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Let me just get my nose real fast. Okay. So she says Cassie texts Chris to tell him that she's worried and knows they are having problems, but she has never seen Shanann so broken to the extent that she is worried. Chris replied to Cassie, "She went to a friend's house with the kids. She won't tell me where, though. When I get home, I will update you." Cassie tells Chris that her car and shoes and everything is at the house. She asks what is going on, that she would totally shut out everything, saying it's not like her. And Chris replied, "I told Nikki about it so she wouldn't freak out anymore at the house. I think Christina knows as well. We talked last night and I told her I wanted to sell the house, get something smaller. Separation would be best right now if we can work through the issues. I really don't want you to think I'm a bad person, Cassie." Cassie replied that she did not care and was worried about Shanann's well-being. She told Chris that Nikki was calling the police due to their concerns. And at 1:05 Colorado time, Chris replied, "I'm going home, Cassie. On my way. Don't call the police. I will be there in 45 minutes." And then there's attachments of screenshots from Cassie and text between Cassie and Shanann. And then on page 557, it says there's text between Cassie, Nicole, and Shanann, and text between Cassie and Chris. And we just read those. But the attachments are the actual text. All right. Exactly. No one really saw him put anyone in the truck. It's so crazy. On page 570 of Discovery, on Tuesday, August 14th, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, Agent Greg Zentner, received a request from the Frederick Police Department to assist with a missing persons case. On Tuesday, August 21st, CBI agent Ron Karskalen and I searched Survey Ranch site, Survey 319, Survey 1029, and Survey 1129 for the blankets and toys reportedly missing from the Watts house. Now, we all know that he took those blankets and he dumped them in that construction site that he stopped at on the way home. That day when Nicole Atkinson was at his house, he stopped at the construction site, got rid of the blankets, and then the construction site had the dumpster dumped like a couple of days after that. And that the guys on the construction site didn't think it was weird to see people dumping stuff in these dumpsters because it was a construction site and people did that all the time. Yeah, that's true about the feet dangling. Yep, Leah, that's right. Okay, so On Friday, August 17th, I re-interviewed Anadarko employee Troy McCoy. During the interview, McCoy said he thought Chris Watts may have placed evidence related to this case on Survey Ranch oil well sites on Monday. On Tuesday, August 21st, at approximately 12:53 p.m., I contacted Anadarko Regional Security Manager Tony Husky and requested permission to go to the oil well site on Survey Ranch to look for the items of evidence related to the case. Husky consulted with legal reps from Anadarko and then granted us permission to go onto the site. Husky said he would be able to provide an escort to the sites. GPS informed information provided earlier in the investigation by Anadarko showed Watts drove to 3 different oil well sites on the Survey Ranch on Monday. These sites were identified by Anadarko employees as Survey 319, Survey 1029, and Survey 1129. At 1:25 p.m., I contacted Benyon Survey, who is the owner of the Survey Ranch, via telephone and requested permission to go onto his land where the oil well sites are located to search for the evidence related to the case. Mr. Survey verbally granted permission for law enforcement and Anadarko employees to enter his property to look for evidence. At about 2:30 p.m., Husky advised me that one of the oil well sites, Survey 1029, I requested to visit on the Survey Ranch, was actually on property owned by the state of Colorado. I contacted Matt Pollard, who is the manager of the North Central District of the State of Land Board, and requested permission to go onto the land which contained site Survey 1029. Pollard verbally granted permission for CBI agents to look on this parcel of land for any evidence related to the case. At approximately 3:30, CBI agent Karskilin and I entered onto Survey Ranch, escorted by the Anadarko employee Luke Eppel. We first drove to Survey 1029 and completed a search. We did not locate any items. Using GPS information provided by Anadarko and the statement from McCoy, we were able to locate an area of interest on the south side of the holding tanks on Survey 1029. McCoy told agents that Watts had parked his work vehicle on the south side of the holding tanks so Watts could use the bathroom. McCoy's thought Watts may have buried evidence there. We were able to locate an area of ground which appeared to be recently disturbed, as well as the tire tracks on the south side of the holding tanks. We used a shovel to carefully scrape layers of dirt. We discovered what appeared to be the paper towels. So they knew that he actually did use the bathroom. When they proceeded to Survey 1129 and searched this location on foot, they did not locate any items of evidentiary value. And that's because he did not discard them there like he's telling everyone he did. He discarded them in the dumpster that got dumped into the landfill, and they'll never find them. Just my opinion. And so they left Survey 1129 and they drove slowly on the road to Survey 319, checking the side of the road for any evidence. And they did not locate any items of evidence on the side of the road. And when they entered Survey 319 and searched the site on foot, they did not locate the items there either. And they left the survey about 6 p.m. And that is all that we have on that. So next is a Nicole interview. Next, we have a Nicole interview. Let's see what we got for comments first. He does walk backwards, though, kind of struggling. It looks like you see his head and more shadows of him picking her up to put her body in the trunk. He supposedly carried her and put her in the back seat with a bag over her head and feet. Dead weight is very heavy. The back door where he takes them is covered by a bush. Those investigators really kept it together while all along knowing he was lying. I would have wanted to slap his face silly. Me too, Leah. I don't believe she ever was placed into the truck. I believe Cece and Shanann were transported in another car. Could be a little bit. I agree, Leah. I believe Bella was in the truck. The show was really insightful. I agree, Leah. Yep, Leah, same. NK2. I still don't get why she wouldn't just mail a statement like Amber Fry. Frey. Is it Amber Fry or Amber Frey? I can't remember. She looked her up. Why not follow suit? I bet NK will show up at some point with a book deal or movie with big money. What items were supposedly down there? He was looking for the blankets. The blankets that they never leave the house with out. And the blankets were missing from the home and supposedly some toys, but I don't think the toys were ever missing. It's definitely blankets. The blankets that he killed them with or smothered them with. So I bet NK, okay, we already did that. Now, on August 21st, you guys, this is well after Chris goes to jail and all of that. This is a while after the murders. The murders were on the 13th, so the 21st would be like a week later. On August 21st, 2018, Colorado Bureau of Investigation agent Kevin Kobach spoke with Nicole Kessinger by phone. Nicole updated me on memories regarding her relationship and conversations with Christopher Watts. The following is a summary of the phone call with Nicole. The phone call was recorded and is attached to this report for review of the exact content of the interview. The interview was sent for transcription on August 22nd. Nicole stated the following during the interview. She's been thinking about Chris' use of Thrive. Chris always wore at least 2 patches, usually on his left and right bicep tricep area. Chris would also apply the patch on his lower back. Chris also used the supplements, shakes, and pills on a daily basis and followed the Thrive routine. Chris lost 13 pounds between July 4th and August 11th. You guys, first of all, he was wearing Thrive Duo, and you're supposed to wear 2 patches. Thrive Duo is a patch this big, and it's like a puzzle piece, okay? It's got like some zigzags on this side and some zigzags on this side. And so when you take it off, one comes off here and one comes off here, and you're supposed to stick it on 2 sides of your body, anywhere, okay? 2 stickers, 2 different parts of your body. So he was not doubling up on Thrive. He was taking the normal dose. It's called Thrive Duo, which is 2 patches. Okay? The second thing with this is that Chris losing 13 pounds in a month and 7 days, a month and a week, in 5 weeks, losing 13 pounds. I don't know about any of you ladies, but I can lose 13 pounds in a week. I can gain 13 pounds in a week. In a week. So maybe I'm different. Maybe I have a hyperthyroid or an underactive thyroid or better metabolism or whatever the case may be. I can lose or gain 13 pounds in a week, depending on stress, depending on holiday, if I'm eating a lot. I mean, lots of different factors to make you gain weight fast. So I don't know why she made such a big deal about this, except to fill up time in the interview so she wouldn't have to talk about important things. Yes, he smothered them with the blanket. He used his bare hands a little bit, but the blanket was underneath. He used the blanket over their face, but he used his bare hands to cut off their nose and mouth, but he had the blanket over them. That's why there wasn't bruising over Cece. He may have done Bella with his bare hands, and that's why she had more trauma to her mouth from fighting back. But they're saying that he did that through the blanket. Yeah, that bothers me too. Chronic life. Okay. She's been thinking about Chris use of Thrive. Chris always wore at least 2 patches, usually on his left and right bicep area. Um, he would also apply the patch on his lower back. On July 4th, 2018, Nicole went to Chris's home in Frederick, Colorado, to help Chris set up his diet and weight loss exercise goals. Nicole said this was the first time she was at Chris's home. After spending time at Chris's home on July 4th, Nicole went to the Colorado Rockies baseball game without Chris. The second time and final time she went to Chris's home was on July 14th. He lost weight like a lot of people do in the beginning of a relationship, especially if you're eating clean, exercising, and running. Very true. Okay, so Nicole said Chris was always full of energy and he did not sleep. He regularly went to sleep at 11 or 12 a.m. and woke up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. Nicole recalled that Chris would sometimes fall asleep during their conversations, but catch himself and wake back up. Nicole recalled the following dates and locations which she and Chris visited during their relationship. Yes, she was talking way too much. Saturday, August 11th, Chris drove her home in his Lexus. They went to the Lazy Dog Bar at 120th and Federal in Westminster, Colorado, and chose to leave this location and go to another Lazy Dog Bar on 144th Ave and I-25 in Erie, Colorado. They drove Nicole's Toyota 4Runner to both locations. After having a meal at the second Lazy Dog, they returned to Nicole's home. Chris left her home. Chris left her home in his Lexus. Nicole recalled that Chris always paid for their meals when they went out on dates. Chris had always paid for everything using Anadarko gift cards. Nicole was not certain how Chris got the gift cards, but believes that they were given to him by Anadarko as a bonus or for being safe on the job. Nicole believed Chris had been using the gift cards to hide their relationship from Shanann. Now, if she believed that he was using the gift cards to hide the relationship, I thought she said that he told her that they were divorced or separated. So why would he have to hide the relationship if you were told from the beginning that they were separated? So you just told on yourself right here. Nicole noticed on August 11th at the Lazy Dog that Chris paid for their meal with a baby blue credit card. During this time, Chris also made it clear to Nicole he was filing for divorce from Shanann. Nicole thought it was unusual for Chris to pay with a credit card as he had always used the gift cards. She believed Chris had nothing to hide anymore from Shanann, so he was not concerned with paying with a credit card that Shanann may be able to see the transactions on. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, right, NK. Friday, July 6, 2018. On Saturday, July 7th, 2018, Chris and Nicole went to a movie theater near I-44 and I-25. They attempted to see Jurassic Park at approximately 7 p.m., but the show was sold out. They walked to a bench near Victoria's Secrets and sat and talked for approximately 2 hours and then attended the 9 p.m. show. Saturday on July 14th, 2018. This is the second time Nicole had been to Chris's home. She picked him up at his home and they drove to Boulder, Colorado in her Toyota 4Runner. There, they went to Shelby Mustang Museum. They arrived at approximately 11 a.m. After going to the museum, Nicole took Chris back to his house. On July 21st, 2018, Chris and Nicole went to Bandimere Speedway to watch the drag races. They arrived in the early afternoon. Prior to attending that event, they went to the rooftop bar in Morrison, Colorado, where they ate lunch. Nicole could not recall the name of the bar after an open source search. It is likely the location is the Rooftop Tavern at 215 Bear Creek Ave, Morrison, Colorado, which is up by Bailey, I believe. I'm almost positive as far as I remember. July 28th and 29th, Nicole and Chris went to the Great Sand Dunes National Monument in Alamosa, Colorado. They drove to the location in Nicole's Toyota 4Runner. They tent camped at Zapata Falls in an established campground on July 28th. Nicole said they stopped at a local gas station near the Great Sand Dunes National Park and purchased ice and firewood. Nicole said Chris paid for the items, but she was uncertain if he used a gift card. Chris also rented sandboards for the Great Sand Dunes, and the only gas station near the Great Sand Dunes is the Oasis and Mosca, Colorado. So that is what they were doing. Exactly. That's right, Chronic Life. Everything she remembers is irrelevant. Yep. When returning home from the Great Sand Dunes, Nicole's friend Charlotte asked her to go to the Renaissance Festival. Nicole made an excuse why she could not go, as she was with Chris and did not want Charlotte to know. So I don't know why she told the cops about that Renaissance Festival if they didn't go, so it makes me think that they did. Nicole said that she and Chris stopped in Colorado Springs at BJ's. They sat to the right of the doors, and Chris paid for their meals with a gift card. BJ's restaurant is located North Nevada Ave, Colorado Springs. Both then returned home. Nicole said Chris left Colorado for North Carolina on July 31st. She could not recall what day Chris returned home, but she believed he was gone for about a week. She said the next date she had with Chris was on August 11th when they visited the Lazy Dog Bar. Nicole recalled further information on statements made by Chris. She said at the time he made the statement that did not cause her concerns, but when reflecting back on the conversation, they caused her concern. Nicole refers to a phone call with Chris on Monday, August 13th. She said this was in the evening and Chris was making statements about his children's sheets being smelly and about Shanann's wedding ring. During the conversation, Chris told Nicole that Shanann was okay with their separation. Nicole found this concerning as she had discussed with Chris trying to repair his relationship with Shanann prior to him leaving for North Carolina. Chris told Nicole he had told Shanann he wanted to fix the relationship while in North Carolina, and Shanann said she did not want to try and wanted a divorce. Nicole believed Chris was lying about Shanann saying she was okay with the divorce or separation. Okay, NK. Sure. Sure. Um, sorry, y'all. Let me take another sip. Maybe not. My nose will clear up. Nicole said during the same phone conversation that she and Chris discussed why Celeste's EpiPen would have been left behind by Shanann, knowing that Celeste had extreme nut allergies. Nicole said that she questioned Chris about this and it seemed odd. Chris responded saying that they had a stash of EpiPens and maybe Shanann took one of those. Nicole said she knew this was a lie as the EpiPens are very expensive. Nicole also questioned Chris during this phone call as to why he had not come into the Anadarko office location on Monday. She said although Chris usually comes to the office location in the mornings, there had been times when he reported directly to the field. Nicole said it was ironic his wife was missing and he did not come to the office that day, so she questioned him. Nicole recalled Chris telling her on Sunday, August 12th, that he was not going to come to the office and was going to the pump site. She recalled during this phone conversation on August 12th that a television was playing in the background and she thought it was strange Chris was watching television very late at night. No, you thought it was strange that he was in the bed waiting on Shanann to get home. That television only piqued your curiosity because you thought he was sleeping in the basement and you knew there was no TV in the basement. So as soon as you heard that TV in the background, you were like, oh, heck no, you ain't waiting on her in that bed. So I thought you were going to go ahead and take her out. She said it needs to be done now. I don't like her being home with you. But that's just speculation. All parties are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Yeah, but the problem is I get congested and then it's just running constantly. And then I get congested and then it's running constantly. And I just don't understand. I need to break down and get some medicine, y'all. Nicole believed Chris was waiting up for Shanann to arrive from Arizona that evening, and that is why the television was on. Chris told her during this call that he had to go to the field to check on a release. Nicole explained a release was a small oil leak at a well pump site. Nicole was suspicious as to why Chris would be checking on a release as he was not part of the environmental team. She explained usually if a release is reported, a team of environmental specialists respond to deal with the release. Chris occasionally deals with a release and may be responsible for closing valves and or shutting off tanks to stop the release. Chris told Nicole he was going to check out equipment and do a lockout tag on the site if there was a release. Nicole said Chris is tasked with doing lockout tags and there would be a record or some type of paperwork for this type of activity. Nicole questioned Chris about going to the job site on Monday in the morning and told him to prove he had been to the site. Chris responded with text messages between him and other Anadarko employees to prove he was at the site. I did not know this, you guys. I did not know that she questioned him about why weren't you at the office? Your wife is missing, and then all of a sudden you weren't at the office. So where were you, Chris? I need to see proof. And evidently she asked him to see proof that he went to the site. So he showed the group text messages, screenshots of him and Melissa and Cody and Troy to pacify her? I've never heard this before. So Chris also sent Nicole a picture of the release and he sent pictures of the text messages between him and other Anadarko employees to prove he was at the site. Nicole said Chris told her that Luke Eppel, Chris's supervisor, had requested that Chris or Troy to respond to the release. Chris told Troy he would take care of the release, according to Nicole. Nicole said that she ended the phone conversation with Chris and he later FaceTimed her that evening. She said on the video call, Chris was wearing a black wife beater, a t-shirt, and he was laying on a mattress with no sheets on it. Oh, a black wife beater t-shirt is what she called it, and he was laying on a mattress with no sheets on it. Nicole did not know what bed Chris was on, but said it did not look like his makeshift bed in the basement. Or makeshift basement bedroom. It didn't look like that. Nicole said the mattress Chris was laying on could have been blue in color. I asked Nicole about her social media use, and she said she has not used social media since approximately 2018. What? She hasn't used social media since 2018. Wasn't it 2018 when this happened? So I don't get that, you guys. She hasn't used social media since 2018. It was 2018. Crazy. It is crazy. Nicole said she last used LinkedIn, however, very rarely. Nicole said she discussed with Chris shutting down his Facebook.com profile. Chris mentioned to her on Saturday, August 11th, during their dinner, that he had shut down his Facebook account. Chris said that he did not use the account. Nicole asked if he had shut down the account all the way by sending a request to facebook.com, and Chris did not know about this requirement. So he just deactivated his Facebook. And Nicole asked if he had sent, so she knew all about deactivating hers and getting it all the way shut down. So she knew about that because she must have done that with hers. And I didn't know about this before either. Nicole believed his account was only deactivated on August 11th, 2018. And you guys, that is my daughter's birthday. Another coincidence that I have with this case. Nicole and I discussed her willingness to provide me with her Apple iPhone 6 so further attempts could be made to recover her deleted text messages. Nicole said she would provide the phone and would consent to search of the phone. Nicole further stated she had recovered from Verizon her call logs from July to August. And that's all she gave them was her call logs from July to August, you guys. Not for June or May, even though she said that the relationship started at the end of June or beginning of the end of May or beginning of June. So why did she only give the Verizon call logs for July to August? Nicole is going to provide those documents to me at our next meeting. And then the attachment says that it was her call logs. But she only gave up call logs from July to August 13th. So ridiculous, you guys. And that is the end of page 577. And I'm going to end this video here. It's been an hour. We will pick up where we left off on page 581 when I see you guys tomorrow. And also, don't forget, I've got the book on its way. My Daddy is a Hero. And I've also got that, what is called the Mental Health Bible on the way, you guys. It is an actual book that the author of My Daddy is a Hero said that is for psychologists to diagnose people with their mental illnesses. And this book goes hand in hand with that. And so I decided to get it off of Amazon because that sounds really interesting, right? It's called the Mental Health Bible in slang, but it's called the DSM on Amazon if you want to get it yourself. And it is a psychologist book that they reference to diagnose people. And so it basically lets you know all the things to be looking for people that have these certain diagnoses and the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath. I think a sociopath is born and a psychopath is made, or vice versa, but I'll get all educated on it, you guys, and make sure that I share it all with you. You know it. You know I got your back. DSM-5. Yes, Leah. I ordered the DSM-5. And I ordered it because Lena Durali she's the author of the book that My Daddy is a Hero, and she said that a lot of psychologists reference it, and the author of this book is not somebody that's writing their first book, you guys. She wrote this book and she has credentials. She actually has a BA in psychology. And she has several master's degrees, and she specializes in couples relationships and couples counseling and stuff like that, and analyzing relationships and the psyche of Chris's mind and all of that. So I am super excited about reading that book. It'll be here Tuesday. Some of you say you already have it, which is great. I was not able to get it until the 9th. It's supposed to have launched on the 9th. If you got it early, you are awesome, because I do not have that hookup. I got it off of Amazon, and I was told the earliest I could get it was the 9th, because it launches on Kindle that day too, or something like that. But anyway, I got it in paperback, just like I got this stupid book. But I'm going to give you guys my summary on it, and I'm going to read it on Tuesday. So I've got that written down, that we're going to cover that on Tuesday and continue diving deep into this discovery so we can figure things out for ourselves. Again, if you are new here, this is a community where we just all put our thoughts and ideas together on the Watts case, and we try to keep an open mind, because nobody really knows the truth. There is not one opinion that's the right opinion. There might be pieces of your opinion that's right and pieces of my opinion that's right, and we got to put them all together to find out the truth. Evidently, we never will get the truth, because we're not going to trial or anything like that. And even the people that investigated this case want more answers than they were given. And the Sherilyn Cato book gave me more questions than answers. And so I'm hoping that the book from Lana, it dives more into the why and the psyche behind the person that did this. And so we might be walking away from reading this book with a little bit more insight than we had from the Cato book. So I highly recommend getting it. I do. You can get it on Amazon right now. This is how you spell the author, you guys. Oh, I didn't put it in here. If you want to look it up on Amazon, they deliver in 2 days. You will get them at the same time if you order it. Lena Durley. That is how you spell it. Right there. And it is called My Daddy is a Hero. And so, yes, I will be going over this DSM-5 with you guys as soon as it gets here. I like on the other hand type view. You should subscribe, nurse. Okay. Open to receive. That is right, you guys. And we're also going to find out what kind of mud I am, because I got the Ancestry DNA kit. And so I'm super excited to show you guys how that's going to work out for me. How that's going to work out. And if you guys are interested in doing that, you'll be able to see how the process works, and if it's a pain in the butt, and if it's even worth it. I'd get more info from a grocery list than Cato's book. I know that's right. I know that's right, girl. But this new book is written by a very, very smart woman, you guys. And Scott Reich read it, and he said that she's candid and a very good writer. And that's a lot coming from him. That says a lot to me coming from him. And so he really made me want to buy the book, his opinion on it. And so I went right over there and bought it. And I watched the interview with her, and she made me want to buy the DSM-5 book, because she just broke it down as the mental health Bible, and seeing as a lot of mental health issues run in my family on my dad's side, my mom's side. I mean, it's a long list of craziness, and I would like to be able to dig deep into that book and psychoanalyze some things. And don't worry, I'm not going to do that to my friends and family or anything like that. I just want to maybe help understand the psyche of my nut job stepfather or my abuser or my children's fathers, or the list goes on. So yes, chemical imbalance, all of that. I agree. He did speak highly of Lena, though. But I agree about what Elizabeth is saying about Cadel. I mean, and she has partnered up with Cece, the other YouTube channel that I used to think was good, but now I'm just like, wow. Just please, there are some channels in the true crime community that need to humble themselves. The smug pride that is exuberating off of some of these creators. They think that they're being funny. They think that they are just stating the facts, but they are coming off as haughty and holier than thou, and you think that they're smarter than everyone and condescending. And these are creators that I used to like, creators that used to be down to earth and awesome. And now they have just, the power and the control has gotten to their heads. And they just seem to want to sit on a high horse and look down on everybody. And I'm not digging that. What I want to do is be the example. I want to show that even when someone is hating on me, I can still show them love, respect, and be peaceful. You know what I mean? There's no sense in clapping back. There's no sense in giving my side. I mean, I've got screenshots like you guys wouldn't believe. And I could do a compilation. My daughter wants to do a compilation, busting some things out, and people would lose subscribers once I did this. And that's not what I want. I want my haters to be successful. Is that crazy of me? But I do. I want everyone to make it in life the most that they can, the best that they can, without me getting in their way, without me hindering them. I have enough of my own direction that I need to focus on, that I don't need to be getting in the way of anybody else's. And so I just see it happening. I see the transformation as the subscribers go up, and just it's just sad. It's very, very sad, and how people come at each other, and nobody cares that it's the holidays. Nobody cares that that person has 6 kids or a family. They just come after them. And I don't know how some people sleep at night. I really don't know. I just, wow. It's too much. It's too much. And I want to support other channels. I do, but it seems like that I'll go there for support, and then I'm just like, did I just hear that? Did that really just come across my ears? No, that's not okay. And then I end up leaving. And so again, no matter how many subscribers I get, I want to set the example of how no matter what people do to you, you can get a thicker skin, and you can give back positive to any negative that you're getting. And honestly, that's going to probably make them even more mad. But that's not the intention behind it. Don't think that I'm just ignoring them to make them more mad. I'm just trying to show them the way to act, the adult way to act, that people can have a channel and not get like that. So anyway, I see you guys out there. I see you, and I'm definitely not going to follow in your footsteps. I'm going to set the bar high and create a new standard. So hopefully people will follow in mine. It is. Don't forget to like the video, you guys. I had 180 some people in here before, and they all should have liked the video, but they won't. But thank you guys so much. I'm getting ready to have to start monetizing some stuff on my channel. It will never be true crime. It will never be death, addiction, domestic violence. I'm not trying to make money off of people's tragedy and trials and tribulations. That's just not me. But I am going to start doing some makeup tutorials, some skincare tutorials, some mommy chats, where we all just come together and give our little life hacks and things that maybe our most embarrassing moments or whatever. So some very kid-friendly stuff coming soon, but I'm still not going to stop reading this discovery, you guys, and we still have 4 hours left of Chris Watts' Wisconsin interview to cover. So I printed these out because I'm trying to give my finger a rest from all the writing that I've been doing. I'm beginning to get like a callus on my hand. I also wrote out the Middleton twins. They were two 15-year-olds that were just vanished in Augusta, Georgia back in 1992, the same year that my mom was murdered. And so I want to cover that case real soon too. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it live or if I'm going to just make a video for that. I also have coming real soon, my video that I won't do live of my abuser story. So yes, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so email me if you need me. I'm going to go. I'm going to get some rest because my granddaughter's going to be up early tomorrow, and maybe I'll come on and let you guys see her. So thank you so much for all your love and support. And if you are looking for some nail strips, they go on real nails, fake nails, gel nails. My link for that is down below. My PayPal link is below. And so is my Mary Kay link if you want to get some skincare that will give you radiant skin like mine. And all the makeup that I wear, you guys, is 100% Mary Kay. So that's down below if you just want to browse. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Good night. Bye, girls. Bye. Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to be taking pre-orders for sweatshirts that say, hey, girl, hey, or hey, boy, hey, whichever one you want. So email me if you are interested in that. My email is at the very top of this chat. If you are interested in getting a hoodie that says, hey, girl, hey, or a hoodie that says, hey, boy, hey. And if you want it on the front or the back, you can choose. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, girls. Bye. Bye, boys. Bye.